Like she said, I'm Alex. My presentation today is called Birding. There's an app for that. Some of you have seen my PowerPoint presentations, and while I love doing those, I'm going to be doing something very different today. I'll be doing a hands-on workshop instead, because in order for you to truly appreciate how useful these apps are, you really have to try them yourself. So I'm going to give each of you a chance to play with the apps. But before we play, I'm going to start with a very quick introduction to some of the most popular apps for Apple and Android. Let's start with the field guides. When you're in the field, it helps to carry at least one field guide with you. The problem is you're already carrying your binoculars, your camera, your phone, and maybe even a water bottle if it's hot out. And if it's hot out, or if you're on a difficult hike, the last thing you want to do is carry even more stuff. Wouldn't it be great if you could just carry all of your favorite field guides with you without adding any extra weight? Well, you can. Just load them onto your phone. There are a lot of field guide apps on the market, and these are four of the most highly rated. iBird is my favorite field guide app. It includes a lot of information, like a range map, and it has a fantastic search engine. Next up is Audubon Birds. Since it's from Audubon, you know it's a good app. Out of all the field guide apps, Audubon has the best bird calls. Many birders are fans of the Sibley and Peterson field guides, and now you can carry those books around comfortably on your phone. Both apps are remarkably similar to the books, but the apps have additional features. For example, on Peterson, you can search by the month in which you saw the bird to confirm that the bird was likely in your area, while Sibley contains bird calls. National Geographic likewise follows the paper version of the field guide closely, but it has additional features. Like Sibley and Peterson, this app has drawings instead of photos. Now onto the field notebook apps. Many birders keep field notebooks or journals, but just like the field guides, those add weight. Also, how many of you have seen a bird when you're not on a birding trip, like when you're at the dentist or the grocery store? You don't have your field guide, your field notebook, or your camera with you, but you want to remember what the bird looks like. You could draw a picture of the bird on your hand, or you can draw it in your field notebook app. I'm going to be talking about two field notebook apps today. The first is BirdBeat. BirdBeat is a drawing app created specifically for birders. You choose the outline shape, and BirdBeat lets you color in the markings. It's faster and more convenient than drawing in a field notebook. Birdwatcher's Diary is more of a traditional field notebook, allowing you to take notes about the bird, its behavior, and surroundings, without having to carry around a pencil and paper. Now on to the bird call apps. Knowing the calls of birds is sometimes the only way to identify them. Black rails, for example, are the ninjas of the bird world, lurking in the shadows, just out of sight, calling just enough to drive you insane. In the ideal world, you have someone like Brad with you everywhere you go. Someone who not only knows the calls of every bird, but seems to know the bird is there even before it makes a sound. Sadly, it's not possible to take Brad with you everywhere. Believe me, I've tried. So you have to learn the bird calls yourself. These apps are used to help you learn the bird calls so you'll recognize a bird by ear, even if you can't see the bird. Larkwire is the most popular. Larkwire will quiz you, or you can just review the bird songs. Bird tunes. I have to admit I'm biased about this one. The photography in this app was done by Brian Small, a very talented and very sweet man who has given me wonderful advice. In addition to the excellent photography, I love the looping feature and its easy user interface. Chirp Bird Songs USA also teaches you the bird songs, but it also allows you to search by song style. For example, you can search for high-pitched calls. Next up are the checklist apps. Many birders keep life lists for a variety of reasons and for a variety of locations, ABA, Indiana, Yard, etc. Some of us also report those lists on eBird. But the last thing you want to do on a birding trip is carry your laptop with you. Even carrying a paper and pencil can be clumsy. It's so much easier to just whip out your phone and click a button. Many of you probably use eBird on your computer. BirdLog is the mobile version of that program. BirdLog keeps track of the birds you've seen, when you saw them, and where. Refuge Birds is designed for birders visiting the National Wildlife Refuges. It has a list of the birds that are possible at each refuge, and it allows you to check off each bird as you see them. Last but not least, some useful apps that don't fall neatly into the other categories. Birdseye Log is the sister app to BirdLog and eBird. Birdseye helps you find the birds. Birdseye helps you find good birding spots, plus it will tell you where each species of bird has been spotted recently. If you want to find an upland sandpiper near you, do a search on Birdseye, and it will tell you that they were spotted at the Indianapolis Airport and at the Fort Wayne Airport this summer. Bird Questions and Answers by Cornell is designed to help you become more knowledgeable about birds. In addition to quizzes, there are interesting facts about a variety of topics. Even if you're an experienced birder, you'll probably learn something with this app. Bird codes. Many birders use four-letter acronyms to describe birds to each other, or when we're just writing them in our field notebooks. A peregrine falcon, for example, is a PEFA. But remembering those codes can be difficult sometimes. And that's where this app comes in. This app lets you type in the name of the bird to get its code, or you can type in the code to find out what the name of the bird is. These are just a few of the multitude of apps that are useful for birders. For full reviews of these and several more, go to MidwestBirdWatching.com and click on Resources. Now it's time for the hands-on portion of this workshop.